It's the Opperman Report. Join digital forensic investigator and PI Ed Opperman for an in-depth discussion of conspiracy theories, strategy of New World Order resistance, high-profile court cases in the news, and interviews with expert guests and authors on these topics and more. It's the Opperman Report. And now, here is investigator Ed Opperman.
Okay, welcome to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, private investigator Ed Opperman. I'm president of Opperman Investigations and Digital Forensic Consulting. You can find a link to my work at emailrevealer.com. You can get a copy, an autographed copy of my book there, How to Become a Successful Private Investigator. All different kinds of services for you, asset searches, locates, adoption investigations, email tracing. You think your spouse is cheating on you? You give us their email address. We trace it back to online dating websites to catch them cheating online. Emailrevealer.com. This show is brought to you by GetTheTea.com. Life Change Tea. You know, a lot of people laugh at me now because I love this tea. And it really is life-changing tea. I wouldn't tell you that if it wasn't true. I drink this tea. First thing I do every morning, I drink this tea. I'm feeling really good. Losing weight. It's clearing up some acne blemishes I have, sporadically. Anyway, I got an email from a listener, and she tells me, she goes, Ed, I got the tea, and I love the tea, and I understand why you're so, excited about the tea, getthetea.com, life change tea. And she said to me, she says, you know what I do? She says she takes that, that liquid B12 that comes like in an eyedropper, and you take that and you squeeze and you put a little chunk down your throat there, and you get the B12 shot real quick. She says she takes that and she pours it into a glass of her tea with the B12 added to it. So I said, that's a good idea. I'm going to try that out. But the B12 stuff the dropper is too sweet for me. I wouldn't want to add it to the tea. So I'm going to see if I can find one that's like unsweetened and add it to that life change tea. Okay. Enough of that. I got a jam-packed show for you, a ton of notes here. Oh, one thing we could start with here is about a month ago, I was interviewed for this article in the epictimes.com by Joshua Phillip. And the article is called Child Trafficking Through International Adoption Continues Despite Regulations. And, this was about the whole thing about how, I was working on these, started out, I was investigating an adoption agency that was connected to Pizzagate, and I was looking into that, and I saw they were involved in all these scandals, and I saw that they were involved in abducting this woman's child. After she came out of the hospital, they says, you owe us that baby because we paid for your hospital bills. We're taking that baby, otherwise we're going to call the police. And she in the parking lot of the hospital. And she turned the baby with them. She had no idea what the baby went. And then after that, name of that adoption agency came up in the Pizzagate because they were liking and commenting on Alefantis's Instagram page. And they got some scrutiny. They turned up their windows and their, pulled up their rugs and took off and shut down business. So I was looking into that, and while investigating that, I became friends with these advocates for, pregnant women who, are being coerced into giving up their babies into this adoption money-making scam. And so, I got friendly with them, and then I learned how to do these adoption investigations much cheaper than I've ever done them before, and I've got involved with that. And then I was looking into this whole thing about Russian adoptions, because the Trump said that they were visiting these Russians in Trump Tower because it was about adoption. So I said, let's take a look at that. And I was horrified at what I saw goes on with these overseas adoptions. Anyway, this is the kind of stuff that gives me PTSD. This is the kind of stuff that's has me all upset all the time. That people say, "Oh, Ed, why are you so cranky? Oh, Ed, why are you so nasty? Oh, Ed, why are you such a grump? You're such a grump, Ed." People are just trying to be nice to you. You're rude to everybody all the time. Look at the stuff I'm involved in. And so this guy contacts me. Huge traffic into his website. And so it's a right-wing website, too. It's a pro-Trump. They're all pro-Trump, but it's not everyone else on there, And they brought me on there. And the guy contacts me. We talked for about an hour, We didn't quite get along too good because, this is he's a Trump guy and I'm not. I think I had me speechless a few times, but the article is decent. I couldn't even read the whole thing. I couldn't even go back and read this entire article because it just brings back all these memories of the stuff I see that these kids are going through. These poor victims being trafficked and abused and molested and basically bought and sold for profit. Oh my God. But anyway, you can find the article. It's in theepochtimes.com by Joshua Phillips. It's called Child Trafficking Through International Adoption Continues Despite Regulations. And people, include me in these articles because, I'm actually doing work. I'm actually, fighting these things. I'm working on these things in real life and not just sitting home watching YouTube videos and talking about it. Okay? I recently got caught up in this bizarre back and forth. I used to be on this internet radio station years ago. It was one of the first little spots I started on. And it was in these real, not even conspiracy, like New Age and end of the world, a satellite's going to hit or a meteor's going to crash, there's going to be an EMP, this is the end of the world coming, Nibiru, all this wacky stuff on there. I was like the only normal guy on there, I hate to say. I got the hell out of there. But it seems like a lot of the people still involved with them and these other crazy internet hosts and stuff like that. I'm on their mind. I'm on their radar. And they just love to drag me into their crazy drama, and just a lot of talk. I'm making a motion with my fingers. My fingers are making a flapping lip motion like a duck, like you'd see. A lot of talk going on out there. A lot of flapping your gums, but no one actually pulling up your sleeves and getting out there doing some work. Anyway, enough of that. I'll try and stay calm. Got some big shows I'm taping up, coming up forward for you. Keep an eye out for them. One is a show with Randy Rocket Cody from themetalden.com. And we talk about the death of Dimebag Darrell from Pantera band. They shot this guy. And he has this theory about how things went down. Interviewed Daniel Hopsicker. That's be coming up for you. Good old Daniel Hopsicker, man. Does great work. Mad Cow Production, madcowprod.com. Short for Mad Cow Productions. Daniel Hopsicker wrote the book Barry and the Boys and the book about Muhammad Atta. Welcome to Terrorland. Ooh, got a show coming up with Patrick McStay. Do you remember that whole story about the McStay family? The man and his wife and the kids, they disappeared out of their house and they were seen down at the Mexican border and then no one where they went. They thought they would run the run. There was shady business deals. No one knew what happened. Anyway, I got the father because there's going to be a trial coming up. I'm not sure of all the details. I haven't kept up with it. But I'm going to be speaking with him on Monday. Tentative interview with Kelly Jones, the ex-wife of Alex Jones. If you listen to this show on KYAH 540 AM in Utah there, we're on right before Infowars. Sorry, Mr. Podesta. I apologize. I gotta apologize. Here it's almost. Oh, we gotta apologize. I better. Groveling Alex Jones. The gravelly voiced, groveling Alex Jones. Anyway, I got his ex-wife. Hopefully, she's going to do an interview with me. Maybe I'll sound. Yeah, we'll get into it. The whole show tonight's going to be about Alex Jones. If I could pull myself together. AJ Benza. Remember AJ Benza? He used to have a column. A gossip column, like in the New York Post, I think it was, back in New York. A man about town, A.J. Benza, friends with Donald Trump. They dated the same girl. They got into a big feud on the Howard Stern show because he was a frequent guest on Howard Stern. Anyway, he's got his own podcast now. And so I'm going to be interviewing him on Tuesday. I got a little bit of news for you to report. Gentleman here in town was collecting signatures for the Green Party. What's this guy's name? Look at it over here. I think Patrick Duffy, not the Patrick Duffy from the TV show. What was it? What was that show? I forget it. Whatever. Patrick Duffy, not the one, the actor, but a local art. Oh no, a different guy. It's a different Patrick Duffy too. I contacted the wrong Patrick Duffy like 5:00 this morning. I tried to get an interview, but he was very kind about it. The good guy is the art patron. He's not the same Patrick Duffy who got arrested on 13 counts of perjury because they're claiming that he copied down he was taking signatures to get Jill Stein on the ballot here in Nevada, and they're saying that 13 of the names he wrote down, he forged the names. He wrote them down himself. The people didn't actually sign their names. He took their information, put it down there, and signed the names for them. This is what he's being charged with. And when I was, me and Vic, we went out and we got signatures for Jill Stein to get Jill Stein on the ballot. Okay? And I warned everybody, man, who was around us. I says, guys, my friend, Reverend Ed Pinkney, in Benton Harbor, Michigan, 67 years old, got 2 to 10 years in prison because they claim that he changed the date on 4 signatures. So everybody, when you do this, dot all your I's, cross all your T's, make sure everything's above board, make sure you do everything perfect. Don't make any mistakes on this paperwork. This is serious business. People laughed at me. They give me a look like I'm crazy. So I'm going to try and get to Kim Borghese, who's the co-chairman of the Green Party here in Nevada. She's a friend of mine. And she's no longer on social media the way I used to contact her. So I have her phone number. I'm going to give her a call tomorrow and see if we can get her on the show to give us a comment or a statement about this charges against our friend here, Patrick Duffy, see what's going on with that. Could be a setup, who knows, or maybe some outside agitator, was in it for the bucks. Okay. Oh, one more thing, too. There's a new story came out. I'd like to give you a little comment on it. Stormy Daniels, the porn star, her attorney came out Friday morning on Morning Joe, and he claimed that Stormy has been threatened, that there were physical threats were made against his client in this case. He didn't come out and directly say his client, but he says threats were made to make her be silent. And a lot of people, I don't know this lawyer, okay? But the first lawyer, Keith Davidson, and the first agent who negotiated this whole deal, I know them very well. I've known him for years. Keith Davidson is my go-to lawyer. When I got a problem, I go to him. If I got a client, I send them to him, in these kind of cases, okay? So, and I know these are very ethical people, and there's no way they would have taken on this case if Stormy Daniels, if they didn't have some kind of proof from Stormy Daniels that her story was true. Because these same people have hired me to vet out other stories. I vetted out the Tiger Woods story. I vetted out, to find evidence to prove it's true. Many high-profile celebrity cases involved with these two. So, first-hand experience. I can give you my first-hand knowledge about this situation. And that's what I try and do here for you, the Opera Report. See how we're doing on time. My red pill. I'm selling a red pill. Red pill. All right, red pill gets all this. I fix her out of a red pill. $400,000 a month. This guy's making on the red pill. Was it $400,000 a month or $40,000 a month? The guy's making a ton of money on that red pill. I gotta get me some of that red pill stuff. Okay, I've been meaning to do a show about Alex Jones, a little expose, you might call it, on Alex Jones. Oh, sorry. And what do you call it? So he just got sued. He got hit with 2 lawsuits in the past week. When it rains, it pours. And you know what Alex Jones says? It's something about the rain causes the frogs to become homosexuals. Right? There's nothing wrong with this guy. The guy's brilliant. The guy's a truther. He's on our side. Right? Certainly. Alex Jones is accused of discrimination and sexual harassment by former Infowars employees. Oh, my God. When it rains, it pours. One staffer, he says, was dubbed the resident Jew. Another claims she was groped. Two former staffers at Infowars. I got this from Mother Jones. I'm practically reading it word for word. I'm going to give him credit, right? This right-wing conspiracy theorist, Alex Jones, of discrimination and sexual harassment. The Daily Mail reported. They're quoting the Daily Mail. It came out Wednesday. Jones allegedly bullied staffers, made anti-Semitic, racist comments. Would you believe that? I don't know if I believe it. And groped one worker, according to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission complaints. Rob Jacobson, I'm assuming he's the Jew, a former video editor who worked for the site for 13 years. Let me tell you guys, you don't work for a place for 13 years and start making up complaints. All right? You just make up complaints after 13. This isn't like an inside job. We got guys looking around making lawsuits everywhere. Okay? Alleges his co-workers and managers called him the Jewish individual, the resident Jew, and that Jones regularly humiliated him and belittled him. As the Mail reports, the abuse got so bad that one member of staff photoshopped Jacobson's face on the image of an Orthodox Jew under the words, "The Jewish individual demands your hot topics," and printed out and for all to see. Jacobson, who was eventually fired, is planning to sue Jones for discrimination, harassment, unfair dismissal, in addition to his EEOC complaint. Meanwhile, Ashley Beckford, a former production assistant for Infowars' parent company, Free Speech Systems, alleges Jones often spent his time shirtless and endlessly leering at female employees and guests, which created a disgusting, hostile environment that openly encouraged his staff to make inappropriate comments toward women. According to the EEOC statement from Beckford, who was an African American, Jones made unwanted sexual advances and allegedly groped her while commenting, "Who wouldn't want to have a black wife?" I gotta tell you, if you would really say something like that, how out of touch is this guy? How out of touch is this man? So after that came up, Kelly Jones, the ex-wife of Alex Jones, has a Facebook page. She has a Twitter account. She's got a Facebook page. I would invite people to check it out because she's on the tear here. She's really going all the time about how she's being mistreated in their court settlements there and different things, and exposing a lot of things about the wonderful Alex Jones. Alex Jones, this is what Kelly Jones says on Facebook. Alex Jones has gaslit, defamed, and harassed me for years. He doesn't get to use my distant heritage to defend himself from the truth of his racism. Alex Jones is a racist bigot who brags about his relation to a founding member of the Texas KKK. He mocks his adopted Korean sister with a racist stereotype accent, and by slanting his eyes, he would emotionally abuse me during our marriage and tell me that he couldn't wait to start a new family because my genetics were flawed. I was horrified when during our marriage, he would tell me our children should breed young and only with white people. His mother is fascinated with Hitler and his whole family disturbingly and archaically racist. The real fiction story is the story of Alex Jones, who is the opposite of what he says he is online. No, Alex Jones may not use my name. I affirm his racism. Kelly Jones. How do you like that? That's pretty intense. And hopefully she's coming on the show. Okay. Gonna ask her some tough questions. Alex Jones. Who would have believed it? Alex, he seems like such a nice guy, Alex Jones. He's just like such a wonderful character. Okay. This might be a good time to do you know what. Play a little commercial break here. Let me get that one going. And let me get... And I produce myself here at the Armor Report. You may not realize that. I'm also a adept radio producer. Well, we're right back after these messages. And now a word from our sponsors.
Hi folks, Ronnie here from Life Change Tea. There's a lot of hubbub about the ramifications of GMOs. First of all, what are GMOs? Genetically modified organisms. Yee! Man-made organisms entering our body, changing and damaging us from the inside out. What's our defense? First of all, not eating them. Second, cleansing from them when we do eat them. Thank God for Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. Life Change Tea cleanses from toxins, heavy metals, and helps flush GMOs out of your body. Our unique blend of herbs help cleanse you from the inside out, helping you feel refreshed and clean of yee. We also carry unique one-of-a-kind supplements. So order online at getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Rid yourself of the yee that contaminates your food and water. Go to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Get the tea, your best defense.
The Opperman Report is brought to you by SubhashTechnosis.com. Subash Technosis is a search engine optimization and website design company. They're located in India, so you know you're going to save a lot of money and get top quality service. They offer all sorts of business process outsourcing, data entry, banking BPO services, recruitment process outsourcing, software testing, offshoring, research network, customer care, press release, content writing and distribution, and much, much more. Now, you can get a hold of Subash Technosis by email at info@subashtechnosis.com. Their website is www.subashtechnosis.com, and their Skype is ANUSHASUBASH. Remember, all these shows on Awake are brought to you by emailrevealer.com. You can go to emailrevealer.com and get a copy of my book, How to Become a Successful Private Investigator. You also do all the kind of different services for you. Online dating service investigations called an online infidelity investigation. And that's where you give us your husband or your boyfriend, your girlfriend's email address, and we trace it back to their online dating websites, and we return a list of all the dating sites that email is registered to. We can expand on that investigation and trace it back to porn sites, escort service sites, swinger sites, gambling websites, and even prescription drug websites, and all kinds of digital forensics, computer and cell phone digital forensics, where we can recover deleted content from an email or a hard drive and produce a report for you that you can use in court. That's emailrevealer.com, or you can contact me at oppermaninvestigations@gmail.com.
We all have questions. Did he do it or did he not? We all have opinions, but do we really know the truth? New evidence will now be presented and the ultimate answers will be revealed in the explosive documentary, Serpents Rising. Inspired by the bestseller Double Cross for Blood, an independent investigation of the trial of the century, the lies, the myths, and the concealed evidence. Don't miss Serpents Rising.
This excellent documentary film is available at Serpents Rising at Vimeo Videos on demand. Watch it for $1.99. Okay, welcome back to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, Private Investigator Ed Opperman. When we left off, we were discussing our hero, Alex Jones. Okay, and this other suit, this is the one I find more offensive and more disturbing. I don't like discrimination. I don't like racism. I don't like sexism or anti-Semitism. Of course not. But this one is something that I hold dear to me, and that is the truth, reporting the news accurately and reporting the facts without hyperbole, without exaggeration, without making things up, making up crazy fantasy theories. Not conspiracy theories, fantasy theories. Virginia man who videotaped Charlottesville horror sues Infowars, Alex Jones, for defamation. He's also suing TruePundit.com. Okay? Because they come up with these wild things. TruePundit.com. Wayne Allen Root, okay, is another guy. He's a local guy. Now, this guy got his start because Trump, he was opening act for Trump's road show that when he was a candidate for president. Was Wayne Allen Root, local radio host here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Lives within walking distance from where I am right now. Okay, being Wayne. Probably passed by him in a supermarket 20 times. And on right before the day before this lawsuit was this lawsuit was announced on Wednesday. On Tuesday, he was saying that he was going to come on the air the next day, and he was going to blow the conspiracy out of the water because what he thinks happened at the October 1st Mandalay Bay shooting was that it was a Saudi coup. There was a conspiracy theory that involved Saudi Arabia and a Saudi coup that somehow connected to the Four Seasons hotels. It's next door to Mandalay Bay. And Wayne Allen Root said over and over, he had no facts, but he talks to people in town, and he talked to a lot of people who worked at Mandalay Bay and people who went to the concert and police officers and law enforcement. But he has no facts, but it's a hunch. He's got a hunch and a gut feeling that this is what happened, and then he cites TruePundit.com. TruePundit.com that's now being sued for a similar fantasy reporting about Charlottesville. Now, I don't know if you know what the thing going on about Charlottesville was, but the theory is this. This gentleman here, his name is Gilmore. Before we get to Charlottesville, one more thing about this Las Vegas shooting here. Yeah, people who don't listen to the show for the first time, you may not realize I live here in Las Vegas, okay? And the night of that shooting, when I started hearing about it, I didn't even hear it on TV. It wasn't even on TV yet, before the rest of the world even knew about this. People on my Facebook, local friends of mine on Facebook, were going on there saying, oh my God, there's a shooting at the Mandalay Bay. There's a shooting at this concert. That's how I heard about it. Wasn't even on the news yet. Okay, so the first thing I did was I put the scanner on. You can go on your computer and listen to the local scanner. You don't have to buy a scanner anymore. They have feeds you can play. And I heard all this stuff. Well, there's a shooting over at the M Casino, which is like 10 miles away. There's a shooting over at Flamingo. There's a shooting. And I said, what the hell's going on? We got trouble here, you know? And right outside my door, I could hear the police cars going by. And right outside my door, they shut down the entrance to the 215 highway, right where I live. This isn't something far away from me. I had to keep my kid home from school the next day. I had to keep my kid home from school that Thursday because there was another arrest made here in town, but someone else threatening to go shoot up a school. I've spoken to hundreds of people who were there that night, who work at the Mandalay Bay, who work at Bellagio, who work as security guards, people I go to church with, okay, people I know, parents of other kids we know, okay. But I thoroughly investigated all these crazy allegations without having to rely, believe it or not, you can actually investigate these things without having to rely on YouTube. Did you know that? In real life, you can actually talk to people who are there. Talk to people who work in these things without YouTube, without people sending me YouTube videos. What I want to make 100% perfectly clear here, because I live here, all right, and I have a very good friend, okay? This is a friend that when they're in trouble, they come to me with their problem to get them out of trouble. They've hired me to get them out of trouble. This is a friend who went to work at the Family Resource Center. First of all, this friend worked in local government, worked in local politics, okay? Someone I know very well. Someone who has helped me book guests for this show several times. Helps me behind the scenes with other things because very plugged in here politically. They went to work at the Family Resource Center at the highest level, coordinating with the FBI, with the Las Vegas Metro Police Department, with the coroner's office, with the sheriff's department, with the lawyers, with all the lawsuits, with the insurance companies, with the hotels, and with the Red Cross. If there was anything there that this person who comes to me for help, if there was anything there, these bizarre conspiracies about Saudi Arabians and all this kind of crazy stuff, if there was any of that there, in reality, I'd be the first one to know. Because this person would be hiding right in my house here. Okay, for me to protect them. Okay, that's okay. There's nothing there, guys. All right, and another problem too is all these people like Wayne Allen Root who's going to come on and he's going to. I got a hunch. I got a gut feeling. I got a hunch. Right? I don't know any facts, but I got a hunch. Mr. Trump, I'm the biggest Mr. Trump fan. I'm a warrior, Wayne Allen Root. War. I like guns. Let's smack this guy. I got no facts, but I got a hunch. If there was anything there, I'd know about it. Okay, and I'm not going to come on here and make stuff up, okay, and pretend or come up with fantasy stories from the TruePundit.com. The TruePundit.com, what they're getting sued for, Wayne Allen Root should get sued. But the TruePundit.com and Alex Jones, what they're getting sued for, listen to this, is this Virginia man named Gilmore. He's over there at the protest there in Charlottesville, and he's videotaping the counter-protesters. And he sees this car back up and suddenly speed up and drive and crash into the crowd. And he films it on his phone, and he uploads it to Twitter. And that's when all this crazy fantasy theory reporting starts. And what they're actually claiming is not just that this is a false flag. This is all kinds of false flag crisis act. Not just that. In this case, they're actually claiming that the car accident was staged, and they used stuntmen and trapeze artists, okay, that they had trampolines and they had cables, and you could see the cable if you look at it, and you say, oh, this person, they're flying through the air because, well, they're being lifted by a cable, and then this one is jumping off a trampoline and doing a somersault because they're a trapeze artist. This is what the reporting is. This is what they think. This is what they're saying. That whole thing's a stage scene for like a movie set. And what would the theory be? What would the reason be? to come up with a defense for these Nazis? That this guy in his car isn't an alt-right Nazi? He's a very fine person, but that this guy's not. That this guy. The theory, I guess the theory is that this guy Gilmore. This guy Gilmore faked this to make the Nazis look bad. Like, Nazis don't already look bad. We gotta make them look bad. Like when they were marching through the streets with their tiki torches, singing "Blood and Sand" and Jews will not replace us. Well, that's we don't want to make them look bad, and that's what this guy Gilmore was doing. He's making them look bad. So anyway, he's suing because they posted the address and the names of his parents and his family. His career as a diplomat has been compromised. He's lost potential partners and clients in the most recent business venture, and his social relationships have been irreversibly damaged. I read the whole complaint. I actually got a link to the complaint here. I'll put the link in the description. You can read it yourself. But he's suing Alex Jones and Alex Jones Infowars and a whole bunch of quote-unquote reporters that seem to use pseudonyms. They don't even use their real names. This thing came out this week about how YouTube is shutting down all these conspiracy theory websites, channels, And if they're going to be shutting down stuff like this, I got to tell you, I have no problem with that. I would make a rule, okay, with this YouTube thing, that if you want to produce content on YouTube, you got to use your real name, and there has to be real verified contact information on there. That if someone makes a crazy video about me, I can sue them, or make a harassing video about me, I can report them to the police. I can find out who they are, but the average person can't. People come to me all the time trying to find out who's behind these crazy YouTube channels. YouTube does nothing to help you when you're being stalked by YouTube nuts. And let me tell you, a lot of these people, even popular channels, with a lot of people watching them, I meet these people in person. They try and hire me. They're crazy. They're certifiably crazy. I run the other way. I want nothing to do with these people. So, I can't get all broken up when I see some of these YouTube channels getting taken down, Hey, okay. Now, Mr. Alex Jones, oh my God. He just had some litigation with Kelly Jones, his ex-wife, over custody of their child. All right? And in this, you gotta love this guy. I'll quote the article. It says, Thursday, 4 days into a brain-melting trial, the lawyer of Kelly Jones, Alex's ex-wife, produces a personal ad from a woman named Anja, A-N-J-A. Later in the ad, spelled repeatedly as A-J-N-A. The name of the third eye chakra, so who knows? Who describes herself as a sensuous, sophisticated, and intelligent companion for hotel room service. The ad hints strongly that at some length that the woman is an escort. The lawyer says the ad was written by Jones' current wife many years ago. Now Jones, Alex Jones, he pushes back forcefully. The ad is not from his wife, who was never an escort. Jones had conducted a forensic investigation on his wife's past, which had debunked this line. She had been the victim of identity theft, stemming from a home break-in years back. For all practical purposes, he's saying that the ad is a false flag. The ad's a false flag. The ad about his wife being one time an escort, okay, is a false flag. In the rhetorical style he traditionally uses on his show, the lawyer responds that Jones' wife admitted in her deposition that, yeah, she wrote the ad, and Jones refuses to accept it, and the two move on as if nothing happened. Now, so Jones claims, I guess under oath or in a deposition or something, that he conducted a forensic investigation. Now, people, by the way, I'm a digital forensic investigator, okay? I conduct forensic investigations, okay? And a forensic investigation is where you're creating an exhibit or testimony or something to be used in court. It's for testimony to be used. Forensic means basically testify, okay? It doesn't mean science. It doesn't mean what kind of investigation did he produce for court? A forensic investigation. He just used the word because he thought it sounded cool. But the bottom line is he claims that his investigation, his reporting, clears her, where she comes out and says, oh, yeah, that's me. You know, he refuses to accept it, but we just move on like it never happened. Now, listen, I love all God's children. I love everyone. I don't care how you make your living as long as you're not hurting people, you know, you're not hurting anybody, you know. I don't care. And even if you're a criminal, you come to me, you know, you're facing trial. Half of my clients are criminal defense clients. And, you know, everyone has a good side to them. Even people who committed murder, you know, you're having a beer and some pizza with them, you know, there's good times with these people, you know. I don't hold anything against anybody. I know many people in the porn industry, many people in the sex industry, escorts, massage therapists, all kinds of people. I don't judge anybody. So whatever this woman who's married to right now did in her past, I don't want to disparage her in any way. The part I'm trying to point out is that Jones claims he investigated this forensic investigation to boot, and then he cleared her even when she admits it really happened. So I don't want to attack her for being a one-time massage escort, whatever she was doing. In that same litigation, by the way, Jones' lawyer said that he was just a performance art. This was his on-air persona was performance art. And judging him as a father based on his public persona would be like judging Jack Nicholson's parenting skills on his role as the Joker in Batman. So according to Jones's lawyer, he was just an actor. But then at the same time, as this is going on in court, Jones is producing YouTube videos saying, no, I just said that. I'm not really an actor. I take this serious. Okay, so what is it? Does this guy have any credibility? with anybody, anywhere. Got one more commercial break. And I'm going to take a nap. Almost done for the day, guys. Okay, that's good.
We all have questions. Did he do it or did he not? We all have opinions, but do we really know the truth? New evidence will now be presented and the ultimate answers will be revealed in the explosive documentary, Serpents Rising. Inspired by the bestseller Double Cross for Blood, an independent investigation of the trial of the century, the lies, the myths, and the concealed evidence. Don't miss Serpents Rising.
This excellent documentary film is available at Serpents Rising at Vimeo Videos on demand. Watch it for $1.99. And now a word from our sponsors.
Hi, folks. Ronnie here from Life Change Tea. There's a lot of hubbub about the ramifications of GMOs. First of all, what are GMOs? Genetically modified organisms. Yee! Man-made organisms entering our body, changing and damaging us from the inside out. What's our defense? First of all, not eating them. Second, cleansing from them when we do eat them. Thank God for Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. Life Change Tea cleanses from toxins, heavy metals, and helps flush GMOs out of your body. Our unique blend of herbs help cleanse you from the inside out, helping you feel refreshed and clean of yee. We also carry unique one-of-a-kind supplements. So order online at getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Rid yourself of the yee that contaminates your food and water. Go to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. Get the tea, your best defense.
The Opperman Report is brought to you by SubhashTechnosis.com. Subash Technosis is a search engine optimization and website design company. They're located in India, so you know you're going to save a lot of money and get top quality service. They offer all sorts of business process outsourcing, data entry, banking BPO services, recruitment process outsourcing, software testing, offshoring, research network, customer care, press release, content writing and distribution, and much, much more. Now, you can get a hold of Subash Technosis by email at info@subashtechnosis.com. Their website is www.subashtechnosis.com, and their Skype is ANUSHASUBASH. Remember, all these shows on Awake are brought to you by emailrevealer.com. You can go to emailrevealer.com and get a copy of my book, How to Become a Successful Private Investigator. You also do all those kind of different services for you. Online dating service investigations called an online infidelity investigation. And that's where you give us your husband or your boyfriend, your girlfriend's email address, and we trace it back to their online dating websites. And we return a list of all the dating sites that email is registered to. We can expand on that investigation and trace it back to porn sites, escort service sites, swinger sites, gambling websites, and even prescription drug websites, and all kinds of digital forensics, computer and cell phone digital forensics, where we can recover deleted content from an email or a hard drive and produce a report for you that you can use in court. That's emailrevealer.com, or you can contact me at oppermaninvestigations@gmail.com. Okay, welcome back to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, Private Investigator Ed Opperman. By the way, the member section's been updated. We got 3 great new shows up there. Go to oppermanreport.com, and we have exclusive content. We have a new show with Colonel Anthony Schaefer about the Awan brothers. We have this show with Sean Leary about how this satanic cult was chasing him up and down California there. And then another one about how you can earn a living through sports gambling. The 3 new shows just went up in the members section, so check that out. Okay, now one of the reasons why I think it's important to talk about this kind of thing, and I don't have a personal beef with Alex Jones or whatever, but there's been a pattern lately I noticed on his show where he's ranting and raving and calling for protesters or Democrats or whoever to be rounded up, you know, and they're calling for just people they don't agree with or don't like to be rounded up by the military or police or even civilian, like this is some kind of patriotic movement to stifle dissent and round up people you don't agree with. Now, it's not just him. There's a guy here in Vegas. There's a local show on Saturdays here on KTX. And he's talking about rounding up Fox News reporters. He's on the other side talking about rounding people up. And this guy, Wayne Allen Root's also talking about rounding people up. And we need to make mass arrests, martial law. I've been around a long. I'm 55 years old. And this is scary in our society where we're talking about arresting the opposition and firing squads and military rounding up civilians. And this kind of discussion isn't being treated like hysteria, like dangerous hysteria. It's being treated like it's almost normal. And people aren't standing up and objecting, saying, hey, this guy should be taken off the air. But Ed, no, you don't understand, Ed. Alex Jones is a patriot, and he's a truther, and he's fighting the good fight, and he's exposing those elite pedophile rings of read by reptiles, right? But then why? I have to ask you, why did Mr. Alex Jones give that groveling apology with his grovelly voice to Mr. Alefantis? To my knowledge, neither Mr. Alefantis nor his restaurant Comet Ping Pong were involved in any human trafficking. As was part of the theories about Pizzagate that were being written about in many media outlets, which were commented upon. We apologize to the extent our commentaries could be construed as negative statements about Mr. Alefantis or Comet Ping Pong. And we hope anyone else involved in commenting on Pizzagate will do the same thing. I'm like, we're all on the floor for you, Mr. Alefantis. Now, a lot of people say, well, he had to do that. Ed was being sued. And he had to pretend he was a performance artist because he was fighting for the custody of his children. He had to give up all his principles and morals. And I was fighting for custody of my kid. I didn't have $400,000 a month in selling red pills. I fought and I won because I was right. Did the right thing. That's why I won. Fight of my life. I have to grovel anybody. Now, if there's ever a case that you want to get to court, wouldn't it be Pizzagate? Now, I don't know all the stuff that I hear. There's all these wild conspiracy theories around, fantasy theories around Pizzagate. This guy has no problem with fantasy theories. Okay, but all these wild fantasy theories about Pizzagate, half of them, I don't know what's going on with them. But just from what I've seen, you look at this man's Instagram page, and he's holding a little newborn baby, and there's a comment under it that says, chicken lover. Wait, okay. Is there any secret what that means? That means you like having sex with little babies. Chicken lover means sex with little kids, with underage children. That's what that means. It's not a tricky double entendre. That's what that means. If I had a picture holding a baby on my Facebook page and someone wrote chicken lover, I'd block him and delete it immediately. If it was someone I knew, I'd smack him in the head. But no, not Mr. Alefantis. Now, he's going to sue me because I point out that he has a picture of himself holding a baby and it says chicken lover under it. He has a picture of a room and it says kill room. One of the things I do, I talk about it in the intro of the show. I do this online infidelity investigation. We take someone's email, we trace it back to online dating websites and personal ads and swinger ads and adult websites, all kind of stuff like that. And one of the reasons why we do that, people hire me to do that, is because they're involved in custody litigation. And I'll trace the husband, usually it's the husband, or sometimes it's the wife has been escorting. We trace it back to escort service sites. But we trace back the husband's email to risque, alt fetish, dating sites, and we try and exchange some emails back and forth with them and say, hey, you're 420 friendly. Hey, do you like to go fast? All that kind of trying to lure them into a conversation about using drugs and a risque, perverted sex, sex with multiple partners, extreme fetishes. to try and portray them as someone as, as extreme fetishes, a sex addiction maybe, right? And you can use that in a custody evaluation against the other parent because it damages their reputation. If I was investigating a husband and I found Alefantis' Instagram page with the chicken lover and the kill room and all the kids with their hands taped, all the stuff and videos and the pizzeria they're talking about Jared Fogle and it's a life choice with like little boys. If I had that and I could put that in a report, that would be the Super Bowl of evidence in a custody case, and that parent would not be allowed unsupervised visits with their own kid. Okay? So what's all this groveling? Grovel, Mr. Alphonse, ping pong. You don't traffic about that. Okay? That's just it. How come Megyn Kelly doesn't ask me, how come you're holding a baby and it says chicken lover? How come there's another picture of a baby for sale? How come? Ask him the question. Let's go to court. Let's get these questions on the record in court. Okay? Ed, you don't understand. Mr. Jones, he's a truther and Charlie Sheen, he goes on the show and Charlie Sheen's a rebel and he's well, that's interesting. Charlie Sheen. That's right. Charlie Sheen was on that show. 9/11 truther, Charlie Sheen, right? Charlie Sheen. Now, here's a guy. I know. Listen, I stick my neck out reporting on things, and I face consequences for it. Okay? But Charlie Sheen, this guy never faces any consequences for anything. He's got some reputation, this character, Charlie Sheen. Pulls a knife on his wife on Thanksgiving evening. Right? Gets arrested for domestic violence. Then he's caught in a room with my client, Capri Anderson. He's covered in blood in the room. He's covered in glass, broken glass. She's hiding in a bathroom. Does he get arrested? This truther? We got the goods on the truther. We could take him down now. Look at what the evidence we got against him. No, he doesn't get arrested. In fact, his buddy Donald Trump tells him, hey, you can come stay at my hotel next time, Mr. Sheen. Next time you want to terrorize some little girl in a bathroom, come stay at my hotel. It's like he laughs about Jeffrey Epstein. Great guy, I know him 15 years. Likes those young girls on the young side. He likes to have his fun. Right? Here's a comment from a guy named Dominic Brascia about Charlie Sheen. Haim, meaning Corey Haim, told me he had sex with Sheen when they filmed Lucas. Remember that movie, Lucas? He's like 12 years old. Dominic Brascia, former actor and close friend of the Lost Boys legend, told the Inquirer, he told me they smoked pot and had sex. He said they had anal sex. That's what Dominic Brascia accuses Charlie Sheen of having anal sex with Corey Haim when Haim was a little boy. Haim's dead today from a drug overdose. This events like this took its toll on Mr. Haim's life. And Brascia claims that Haim told him Charlie Sheen did it. Has Brascia been to court over this? Has Charlie Sheen sued him over this? No. Corey Feldman wrote a book, too, that hints pretty strongly. I did a whole show about it, Corey Feldman. Let's look at the clues. Take a look at that show. Denise Richards, Charlie Sheen's ex-wife, claims that he had child pornography on his computer and that his own boys showed signs of abuse, acting out sexually and abusing the dog and playing with the fecal matter. She wrote a letter to, I think it was like a 12-page letter to Child Protective Services. Charlie Sheen's not allowed to raise his own kids, by the way. You know that, right? And she was raising his boys that he had with Brooke Mueller, because I don't think Brooke Mueller was allowed to raise her own kids. I don't know what's going on with them now, but I know at one time she had these kids. And she says, I can't keep these kids. They're hurting my kids. They're hurting the pets. They're smearing feces on themselves. They're acting out sexually. These kids have every sign of abuse. That's Alex Jones' friend. the fellow truther. Another one he sticks up for is Donald Trump, who's friends with Jeffrey Epstein. How come that part of the Epstein story never comes out on the Alex Jones Show? Now, you can go back and go way, way, way back many, many years and take a look at the Stratfor connection to Alex Jones. It's been widely examined and reported on. Stratfor is this bizarre intelligence agency with connections to the Mossad, and it's based there in Austin, Texas, where Alex Jones is also based. There's at least one employee who left Stratfor and went to work over at Alex Jones. Maybe she was a plant. I don't know. There was one time, too, they were on the same servers or same domain registry. They had some kind of similar, internet connection. All these things could be coincidence, but when you look at everything in its totality, I would have to conclude that Alex Jones is not a trusted source of information. Okay? Not when he's groveling to the bad guys and making excuses for the bad guys and the Nazis and calling on people, our civil rights be taken away and we be rounded up for speaking or protesting in public places. He wants to round us up. Coming up with bizarre fantasy theories about cables and trampolines in Charlottesville. Everything's a false flag. So, brings us to a situation where the same folks who still, and I'll get emails and I'll get comments about this. Oh, no, Ed, Alex Jones, he's not a total shill. Of course, he does some show business, but he brings out some of the truth, Ed. And as long as he does, that's okay. Because, the guy's a right-wing racist, and so am I. And we all got to stick together, right, Ed? We got to overlook the guy's faults. Okay. But this whole atmosphere creates phenomena like this character QAnon on Reddit and 4chan, who supposedly has his secret access to top secret clearance, a Q level clearance, and he's releasing these cryptic clues and hints and stuff like that. And everybody, oh, Q, we're behind you. Oh, Q, oh, he's a patriot. You're a patriot, Q, so are we. And now we have Q, who I believe is a total fraud and a hoax and a live-action role play. But now we have Mr. Q here defending Hitler and the Nazis. Okay? Poor Hitler was misunderstood, according to Q. And he's still got his followers. And he's still got his supporters. He's still got his fans. Just like the people who still support Alex Jones after he said he was a performance artist, after he groveled to a man holding a baby, says, chicken lover, I'm groveling to you. Buddies with Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen? My good friend Charlie Sheen. Comes up with these fantasy theories, man, like you're stupid. He thinks you're stupid. And you're going to believe that this car accident was, this crash was all a big fake thing, and there was trampolines and cables. Right? That's someone who respects you? I don't think so. Anyway, coming up next is Alex Jones here on KYH. Listen. Want to enjoy, listen, when I'm driving around and I hear Infowars comes on, I'll listen to it just because it's kind of exciting to hear someone screaming into the radio, over the speaker, oh, the dossier's fake. I listen to that crap too. But you can't believe it. You can't take it seriously. You got to take it with a grain of salt, man. Use your common sense. If you like the show, check out OppermanReport.com. A lot of great new content up there in the members section. You want to advertise on this show, get a hold of me at OppermanReport@gmail.com. You won't see any snake oil on this show. No red pills, no. I'm not meeting with any scientists to make my own pills and sell it to you. All right? So contact me at OppermanReport@gmail.com. We could use your donations, too, because we need some sponsors right now. So keep things rolling and stuff like that. It's the end of the month. A lot of expenses. Check out my archives. We've got a ton of shows on our archives on YouTube. You go to the Ed Opperman YouTube channel. Go to my Spreaker channel, sign up, subscribe to my channel on YouTube. Find me on Twitter, Opperman Report on Twitter. I'd love to connect with you there. And keep an eye